Welcome back to the Lose Weight by Eating podcast. I'm Audrey Johns, and I'm so excited to have my very first guest. We have Wendy Pierson from the One Day Diet. What's up, Wendy? How are you?
I'm great. How are you today?
I'm doing so great. And I love your book. Everyone, you've got to check out her book. It's fantastic. And it's so in tune with the whole Lose Weight by Eating brand. It's so great.
Oh, thank you. I do think that we have a lot of similarities with our mindsets.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I'd love to hear about your journey, either your weight loss journey or your health journey, just so everyone here can kind of get to know you and love you as much as I do.
All right. Well, my weight loss journey it's been a journey because as a lot of us do, I was a yo-yo dieter for years. And so I started out, like the thin girl that had like the great metabolism and I could eat anything. And so I didn't really like worry about it, which I wish now I was look back and think, gosh, why couldn't I be so more grateful for that time? These my little high school body,
Yes.
you know. But so I never really I just didn't. Eating wasn't a part of like who I was, or health wasn't a part of who I was. And then the older I got, I started to realize I had gained some weight. And so I started on my weight loss journey, which started to be I would lose weight and I would look great, but I never consistent. And so I would let that go and then gain all the weight back, maybe 5 or 10 more pounds, and then catch myself and then go back to my yo-yo, back to the greatest, like the new trend, the latest phase, whatever the great new diet was of the year. And that went on for a while. And then in 2014, my mom passed away from cancer. And it hit me so hard and I was really depressed. And I didn't realize at the time how depressed I was. And this was my aha moment is I just really laid in bed. I'm really lucky that I had a husband that was taking care of the chores, the kids, the family and house and all of that. And one day I was outside when my daughter came home from school and she was about 9 and she said, "Being outside, and I just kind of talked to her and I said, "Well, why?" And she said, "Because you're usually in." And it was like this, like light bulb, like, okay, wow, like I didn't realize that the role model and what she was seeing, I didn't realize how low I was. And so I, that was just a light bulb moment for me and aha. And so I picked myself and I had to force myself to start doing, you know, taking care of myself, getting out of bed. And then I was following a woman on Instagram and she was a yoga teacher and she would post poses and, say, come to my class. And I would just kind of follow her. And then one day she posted and said, I do private lessons. And that was a really big deal for me because I really was unhealthy, uncomfortable in my body, depressed. And so I thought, okay, I don't have to go to a yoga studio with all these beautiful people and, they're tight, cute clothes, lemons bopping around. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to do a private lesson. And I went to her and I did my yoga class. And I remember it was life changing. I walked out of there and I felt like a weight had lifted off my shoulders. I remember what I had on, what I was wearing. This was like 10 years ago. And I got in the car, I called my husband and I said, I'm a changed person. I said, that was amazing. I don't know what happened. I don't know what it was, but I'm like, I am doing more of that. So I started going to yoga a couple times a week with her until I was comfortable enough to go to the studio. And long story short, I became a yoga instructor. And that's where I found the mindset with my health.
Wow, that is, first of all, I did not know that you were a certified yoga instructor. That is so amazing.
Yes. Yeah.
So many parallels. I lost all my weight because of my daughter and because I wanted to be a good role model. We're just so in tune, and it's so nice to hear your story in this way because, like I said, we know each other, and I'm going to explain to the listeners later on how we know each other, but so many parallels. I'm so
Yeah.
happy that you found something that kind of changed your mindset. What happened when you created the one day diet? How did you get to that? And how did you come up with it? Was it natural? Was it research? How did you get there?
Because I had been such a yo-yo dieter or to think what's missing in my fitness, because I can do these programs. I'll do like a fitness program, 3 months of some, you know, do this certain workout, and then I would just fall off and I couldn't continue being consistent. And so I started to think, what's the difference between yoga and why is it like resonating so deep? And so I started to really focus on mindset. And in my yoga class, that was one of the main things that I would teach was mindset. And I would start our program and we would meditate maybe for 10 minutes. And I would spend more time on the message in my yoga class. And we would sit down and I would tell them, we're going to work on this is our affirmation.
Trying to do with this podcast is I'm trying to find a way to merge eating healthy and fitness with self-love and self-care. And just as a natural result of that, you might lose weight or you're definitely going to get healthier. But I'm really trying to find a way to merge those two. And I'm kind of doing it live here with everyone because it's a journey for me as well. And I love that you brought that up because that's what your book so much is about just forgiving yourself and moving forward and taking it one day at a time. And I think it's such an amazing message. In your first chapter, you talk about self-love. Can you share to someone who doesn't understand the concept of that or thinks it's something, little on the bedroom side. Can you explain what self-love means to you and how it resonates with the book?
Yeah, I feel like, and that's why I started the book with self-love is because I believe, and I think that you need to have self-love and a fitness and a wellness format. So a lot of people are like, what does that have to do with fitness? But it has to do everything with fitness because of the approval of yourself. Like, you don't need approval from anyone else. And that's what self-love is to me, is I don't have to have anyone else's approval but my own. You have your own approval. And so that's why with a health and fitness program, it's important to love yourself, like to be comfortable in your own skin and to be comfortable with yourself. Like realizing you're not perfect. We all make mistakes, and to forgive yourself. And that was a big thing with food and with fitness. Like, you're not going to beat yourself up if you skipped your workout last night. So you're going to forgive yourself and move on and not rely on anyone's approval but your own. And just accepting yourself where you are. And with fitness and with your body, and I know body positivity is a big thing now, but instead of just doing a fitness program because you're unhappy with what you look like, and that's like more of a self-loathing thing, say, I love myself, and there's always room for improvement. I can improve how I look. I didn't want to change how I look here, but to accept yourself and start where you are today.
I love that. And I love that you brought up fitness. And I'm kind of working on this in my own life where I love myself enough to eat better. I love myself
Right.
enough to get some exercise. And it can definitely be the same thing. Self-love and fitness and self-love and eating well can be the same thing. And I love to call it self-care in the kitchen, but it's also in the
Oh, that's
gym.
cute. Yeah, I like that too. Yeah.
So can you share some small changes that maybe some of the listeners can start today to just love themselves more?
And you were talking about the self-care in the kitchen. Fitness too is the self-love is to looking after yourself and looking after your fitness and your wellness. And everyone's always heard that saying, you can't pour from an empty cup, but it's so true. If you're not putting your priorities first and putting your exercise and your health and your diet first, then that's where you start to lose that wellness in yourself. And people think too, like, self-love, it's not like just, oh, me, like I'm gonna put myself first, but it's putting yourself, me too. It's, oh, I deserve to eat healthy too. I deserve to take care of my body too. It's not like a me, like a yeah, like a vain thing.
Yeah, and it makes me think of the whole mommy culture and how the moms post these beautiful meals that they've made for their kids and everybody's like, "Wow, you're such a great mom. You love your kids so much that you take that extra time to make them a really healthy meal or pack them a really healthy lunch." this is the same thing. This is doing it for you as well, so that you can be around longer for your kids, so you can run and play with them, so you can be a
Right.
good role model.
For sure.
So yeah, it for me, it just makes so much sense that they are one and the same.
Yeah, for sure. And then you were asking me about tips for readers. I think that
Yes.
the tip that that helped me a lot, and assists me a lot with self-love, is stop the self-criticism and the self-loathing. Because we start talking bad on ourselves and looking in the mirror and saying, "Oh, I don't like the way I look." Or you get out and you start walking into a restaurant and think, "Why did I wear these pants?" Or, "Oh, I don't like the way I look." And then it starts to just snowball, and then you think worse things and worse things. And like we were saying before, it's a journey and a practice. So that's something that still to this day I have to work on. And as soon as I catch myself saying anything negative to myself, I snap my fingers. I do this a couple times. In this book, I suggest it, but snap your fingers and say, and stop. And stop yourself dead in your tracks and say, that's not true. I look beautiful. These pants are cute. And stop yourself. And another thing too, treat yourself like somebody that you loved. Think of maybe as whoever in your everyone has different relationships. So think of a child or a pet or a grandparent or somebody that you adore and that you put on a pedestal, and think of a conversation you would have with them. If you're with them or they call you and they start saying, "I'm not good enough. Oh, I can't believe I said that. I'm so dumb." You would stop them and you would say, "No, you're not." And you would build that person back up. And so treat yourself and give yourself that same respect and that same love of, stop, that's not true. Maybe that's how you feel at this moment because it's valid to, of course, like, respect your feelings, but stop just constantly tearing yourself down and treat yourself like you would treat somebody that you adore.
Oh, I love it. And I really loved in your book, and I'm not sure if it was in the first chapter or which chapter it was in, but I loved how you said, write a letter to a loved one and say all the things that you love about them, and then replace their name or their pronoun to you, to your name. And I thought that was just so smart and so easy. And I kind of one of those, why didn't I think of that moments? It's just so great.
But then if you say write down all the things that you despise and that you don't like about yourself, they can fill out pages and pages and turn the page and keep going. And so that was when I came up with that tip of write a letter to somebody that you love, because we're our own mirrors. And a lot of times when we see an attribute or else, it's something that we have. And it might just be like a little bit deeper. It might not be on the surface, but we have that same thing. And so think of somebody that you love and think, you're a beautiful, amazing friend. I love how you make me smile. And then you change that to say, I'm a beautiful, amazing friend. I love how I make myself smile. And then you can build on that to cultivate self-love. If you're having a hard time finding the things that you love about yourself, you can write it to someone else and then realize the similarities.
I love that you have so many amazing ideas like that in this book. And anyone looking for the book, we will definitely give you, where to find it. But it's called The One Day Diet. And there's so many amazing tips just to work easy self-love into your life on a daily basis. I did want to jump into the next chapter called Every Hour Power. And what a great chapter. You note that we spend 50% of our time thinking about the past or the future. Can you share with the listeners what it means to be present in the moment and maybe give us some tips to do that as well?
Yeah, so being present in the moment is being completely engaged and connected where your body is right now. Because a lot of times when we're doing something else, we're going to start, even if you're having a great time, if you're out to dinner with your friends, you're going to start thinking, on my way home, I need to stop at the grocery store and buy this and this for tomorrow, or I need to run to the dry cleaner, pick up the dress that I left. And even if you're in a place in your life or someone doing something, but you still to wander. And so it's being present, being for your body at that moment, and being completely, and that easier said than done too. I know that's practice. thinking about what's next. It's just thinking about what's going on now. And a super easy tip we already all know is to put your phone away, to stay in the present moment. And that's like number one. And that's not even the most difficult thing for people, but I've been working really hard at, like, if you go out to dinner with someone, leave your phone in the car or leave it at home if you can possibly leave it at home, or at least turn it off. And when I wake up in the morning now, I don't even look at my phone because it pulls me into just a different place. And so it's being just present with the now and what's going on right now, instead of like regretting something you said, or with fitness, regretting something you ate, or regretting not working out. Just focus on right now, that you can't change anything that just happened yesterday and what you did or what you didn't do, and just focus on right now.
I think that's great. We have a box. We don't use it often enough. So this is kind of a reminder for me for this weekend, but we have a box that we will all put our phones in because we've got some teenage
Oh,
kids,
that's cute.
and we'll
Yeah.
watch a full movie with the phones in the box in the other room. And that's about as long as kids can hang, I
Yeah.
will admit.
Right.
But it's such a fun bonding moment when we're all, I mean, yeah, they are staring at a screen, but we're talking about, a family get together, and we're watching a fun movie, and we're laughing, and we're joking, and we're sharing snacks. And it's just becomes this wonderful moment. And you could use a box like that at your dinner table, maybe just one day a week. But I
Right.
love the idea of just trying to be present. And it makes me think too of your snapping. I would say
Yeah.
maybe you could use that here as well.
Yeah, I do have that. That's funny. I have that in that chapter as well, the every hour power, because you'll start to just, worry about the future, or a conversation, or just get in your head. And if you stop and say, now, like, I'm here now, it will bring you back into that moment.
I think that's so great. And then I wanted to move on, and I'm not going to go through the entire book because I really think, well, I really want to help promote it. And I really want everyone to get this amazing book. But I did want to talk about two more chapters. The meaningful morning chapter, where you talk about how you work from home, and it would be so easy just to stay in your PJs all day. It would be,
Right.
so easy just not to get up and get going. Can you share a little bit more about what that means, and maybe give us some tips of how we can have a more meaningful start to the day?
Of course. So that's something that I work on too, and that was a really big, like, another aha moment for me, is I did stay in my pajamas for probably not all day, but a lot later than I should have most of the day, because I wouldn't have a schedule. I would get up and I would make coffee and I would sit on my phone, and then I would notice, okay, it's 9 o'clock. I'm still scrolling through my phone. Okay, now it's 10 o'clock and I'm still sitting here, or it's just starts to snowball into not getting things done and not getting things accomplished and not getting your health and fitness and all of those things taken care of. And so I started to make a morning routine where I would do a specific thing every single day when I would get up. And that's one of the things I was talking about earlier, is I don't look at my phone. I used to check it. I have a daughter that's moved out of the house, and so I would usually check it kind of in the morning to make sure she didn't text me in the middle of the night and say, so I come get me or something is fine. And I don't even do that anymore, because I have such a shiny ball syndrome for me that as soon as I pick it up, it's just like, and so I wake up. The tips that I do, I always have water right when I wake up, and then I either right now I'm meditating. I drink my water and then I meditate, and then I exercise, and then I shower and get dressed. And I do that every day. And one of the reasons for a meaningful morning, or you can call it whatever you want, your morning routine, is to just get that check mark. And it helps you be productive for the rest of the day. But with fitness and health, it assists you in, even if, okay, you didn't have the best day and you end up not exercising or not half hour that you took for yourself, and those things, and you started your day. There's that saying that if you conquer the morning, you conquer your day. And I love that, because and it keeps that body in motion, stays in motion. So as soon as you wake up and you start that stretch or your yoga or you go for a walk, you're going to have energy and you're going to keep moving and accomplish a lot more.
I love it. I love it. And I've started working out in the morning. I'm no longer waking up earlier to work out in the morning. I've just worked it into my schedule because I need as much sleep as I can get these
Yeah,
days.
yeah. Yeah, and it
But
doesn't
yeah, I
have to
love
be. Yeah, and I do that too. Like when I suggest a meaningful morning, some people can't work out in the morning. Some people are getting up way too crazy early for work, or they have to get their kids ready and it doesn't fit in their schedule. But I suggest at least like just stretch. Like just sit down or do like a yoga, like 10-minute yoga, or go for a block, or just schedule at least, something quick just to move. And it doesn't have to be your workout because sometimes that doesn't work with people's schedule, or you might have other things going on. So just as long as you get up and just get moving, and then maybe just, I'm going to do a 5-minute like stretch on my back, or I'm going to do a quick like 10-minute good morning yoga, and then schedule your workout later when you have the time and when it's built into your schedule.
I love that. That's such a great tip because you can go on YouTube and you can find 10-minute stretching exercises. You can find 5-minute
For
yoga.
sure. Yeah.
Such a great tip.
Yeah. And with that, like with my morning routine, and so it's like probably one of my number one tips. So last year we had like a terrible, terrible winter here. Like we had, I, oh, I just don't even want to talk about it, but it kind of spiraled me back into my depression. And I've always like heard of seasonal depression, or I'm like, oh, I don't have that. I don't have that. But we started to get snow probably the 1st of December, and it didn't end until May. And we had like 5 feet of snow, and we had dark skies, we had inversion, so we didn't see the sun. And it started to on me, and I started to not get out of bed, and then I started to not do my morning routine. And it was such an effect that I started to realize if I don't get up and do my routine in the morning, then I don't do anything. And I started to gain weight last year, and it was just such like a aha moment that okay, all the tips that I have been working on and sharing with people and teaching others and my clients work, because as soon as I started to let that go, so my morning routine left, so then I quit working out because okay, didn't get up and I don't have enough time now to get on the treadmill, or I don't have enough time to exercise. So I'll skip that. And then okay, then after I skip that, then I don't care about what I'm going to eat for dinner, or, oh, I didn't make my meal plan. And it just started that all of the things that I've worked on mindset and all of the routines that I had one by one just started fading away from just not doing my morning routine, because then, okay, I didn't make meal plan. Let's go out to eat. Okay. I didn't, schedule what we're going to eat. Let's grab a pizza. And then I feel worse. And so then I'm not going to exercise tomorrow. And then it just started to just all compile back on. And so it was, once I figured that out, and it took me a while to get back into that schedule, it was like, I can't believe and how that mindset, just that morning, quick, like 30-minute, however long. It doesn't have, it can be 20 minutes. It can be anything that you can carve out that morning time in for yourself.
Such great tips. And then the next chapter I wanted to talk about was the won't power. It
Oh,
is
yeah.
so smart. Oh my gosh, Wendy, can you just explain this really quickly to the listeners? Because if you're going to buy this book for anything, well, outside of the meaningful morning, which is fantastic, the won't power is such a smart chapter. Tell me a little bit about
Yeah,
that.
because that's what power. I was working with fitness and health for a while. I'm like, willpower is a muscle, and you're flexing that muscle all day. So it's going to give out, and it's going to get fatigue, and it's something that you just cannot have 24 hours a day. Willpower is it's fleeting. And so when I thought if you could change your mindset into won't power, what a difference that would be. And so won't power is just basically, instead of, you're not going to have the snacks in your house. Oh, so I'm not going to stop. Even if my kids want cookies, oh, you buy the kids cookies and you put it in your pantry, but you're going to be the one that at midnight is going to go in and eat the cookies at midnight. Won't power is just avoiding the temptation, not having it in your house, avoiding the drive-through, having that, you know, like how you have all those great meal plans, having those meal plans already scheduled. And so instead of driving by and thinking, shoot, what are we going to have for dinner? You already know what you're going to have for dinner because you have your meal plan, you have your groceries, and so you say, I won't go through the drive through. I won't buy the chips and just have that won't power in your vocabulary and just because power is going to eventually fade.
Yeah, and you give a full list in here too. Can you give a few? Oh, here are some. So I won't go through the drive-through. I won't order French fries. I won't eat the dessert. I won't buy the potato chips. I won't sleep in. And these are just a handful of what's in this amazing book, The One Day Diet by Wendy Pierson. Wendy, tell us, because I really do want to move on and start talking about what we've been working on together. But
Yes.
tell us really quickly, where can we get this book at right now?
It's available from Amazon and Barnes and Noble.
Wonderful. And I will make sure
Yeah.
to put a link in the show notes.
Okay.
And
I
then
was gonna say that.
don't go ahead,
Never mind.
sorry. No,
No,
please.
I was gonna say a couple of bookstores, but we're good. Like Amazon and Barnes and Noble are the best
Amazon,
places
Barnes and
for you
Noble.
to find it. Yeah, for sure. And
Okay.
I believe it's even on sale on Amazon. And I have an Audible book too. So on Audible, if you don't have time to read the book, it's available on Audible.
This would be a great book to listen on Audible, like during your morning walks or at the gym. This would be
Yeah.
amazing. So smart to do at Audible. So I'd also I also wanted to talk to you about fitness as self-care and self-love, but I kind of feel like we've touched on that. I'm really excited to share with all of the listeners what we've been working on. And since it was your idea, Wendy, I'm gonna give the floor to you so you can tell everyone what we've been working on together.
We have been working on a all-in-one masterclass, and I'm so excited about it because when I did write my book, my clients and my readers would reach out to me and say, "I loved your book. You know, it helped me so much and assisted me with this. Do you have a meal plan I can follow? Do you have a fitness plan I can follow?" Because my book is mainly focused on mindset and health and taking care of yourself. And so I have been following you for a while, and I started to think, wouldn't that be so cool if we could offer eh, our readers and people something that they could follow and encompass all of it together. And so doing my mindset and the one, you know, every hour power and one day at a time, and then having you with your tools, with your high protein, with your low calorie, and a lot of your food I feel is like comfort food. So I don't feel like I'm on a diet. It's
Yeah.
like stuff that you're gonna make for your family anyway, that you have really great ways to reduce the calories and get more balanced nutrition and get higher protein and stuff like that. And so I just love it. And so I was thinking we could do a meal plan and then we can do um fitness. And I know a personal trainer in Chicago and I reached out to her and she was all in. And that's cool too because we were kind of talking about working with women over 40 or women that, you know, aging, because I mean this is for everyone and it's gonna that everyone can benefit from it. But it was just kind of funny in my mindset. And right when I called our personal trainer, her name's Dawn, she said, I just took a class to add on and I'm focusing on perimenopause and menopause and how we need to change our diet and our fitness for this time of life. And so it got just like being perfect. It was just like this perfect like epiphany of what should happen and what we're offering.
Yes. So we are calling it Fit Over 40. And of course, any age can use it, but
Yeah.
we really want to focus on, as we age, being healthier, eating healthier, exercising more, better mindset. And so, what Wendy and I and Dawn are bringing to you is a full package. And it's going to launch today, which is really exciting.
Woo!
And you can read more and you can listen more to Wendy and to her amazing advice. And I'm also going to bring Dawn onto the podcast as well. But this has been such a fun journey with you and so fun for me, just because it's like I keep preaching these things and then I open up your book and it's like, wait, Are we like psychic buddies? Because we were thinking
That's
the same thing.
definitely.
So, will you share what you have been bringing to the master class? What everyone can expect for your portion of it?
Mhm. So on my portion, I've written down the meaningful morning, and I have some steps and tips and tools as the meditation I specifically do, and I expand on things that you can do with that. And then I have um a a self love part where and on all of these I did journal prompts. I have self love, and then I have a mindful eating that talks about just taking it slow and sitting down and really appreciating your food and tips on mindful eating. And what's the last one? And diet mentality. And because I'm like a superstar in diet mentality and dieting and all of that. And I feel like our culture, like in the 90s, culture was so focused on like on bodies and supermodels and all of that kind of a thing that we grew up. That was the only thing that was important, is what you looked like and the skin you were and what you it was the better, and it didn't focus on health. And so I feel like diet mentality was a big thing for me to learn, and diet culture, to step out of diet culture and step into health. So those are what I talk about. And then I journal prompts for diet mentality. I have things so you can write down and be more aware of your food, like a food journal, how you feel when you eat things. I have a journal for self-love, so it's some tools and practices you can write down um to build your self-love. And yeah.
Great stuff. And then we've got Dawn coming on, and I believe you've seen her videos already. I have not, but she's doing like full fitness videos. Is that
Yeah,
right?
she did. She's done a couple and they're super awesome. She does one that you use your body weight. So you're doing like push-ups and using your body weight to strengthen yourself. And then she has another workout that's dumbbell orientated with weights, and they're both really, really good. And then she has PDFs and stuff so you can follow along, write your weight down.
So great. And
Yeah.
I love that using your own body weight and then working with dumbbells. These are things you can do in your home. These are
I
things
think
that you
are
don't
we
need to
frozen?
go and purchase equipment for, especially if you already have the dumbbells. But what we want to bring to you is just this all-in-one package that's got, from me, you're going to get my low calorie, high protein book, and another book that I just finished as well, which is all about boosting energy and energy boosting foods. So that if you're saying, I don't have enough energy in the day to exercise, well, I've got the recipes for you. So we're bringing you this wonderful package. We've discounted it in a really big way,
Yeah,
and I'm
crazy.
really, really excited for everyone to check it out.
I am too. I think it's such high value when Audrey and John started sending me like their videos and your books, and I'm like putting them all together, and I'm like, this is a crazy amount of knowledge and value, and I'm so excited for everybody. It's really cool, and it really the all three of them together. It's going to be such a journey for people to really take charge of their own health.
Absolutely. We've got the mind aspect with you, we've got the body aspect with Dawn, and then we've got the healthy eating aspect with me. And this one package, you can just completely recreate your life into something that's healthier. And what I love so much is that both you and I are like, hey, if you eat the wrong thing or if you forget to exercise, don't worry about it. Just keep
Right.
going. It's okay.
Yeah, for sure.
That is part of the journey.
Right. That's part of the every hour power in my book. And I talk about it also in the masterclass is you cannot say, I'm going to start Monday or I'm going to start on New Year's Day. It's just part of the journey. We're human, and there's a balance. Food's not bad. And there's a balance in between just being a part of life and enjoying food and enjoying the culture and connection that food brings. And so just move on. And focus on being healthy most of the time, but not beating yourself up for something that you did or ate.
Absolutely. So often we beat ourselves up for this one little thing that we disapprove of ourselves doing, but do we ever really give ourselves the props for all the other good things that were before that? All the, all the fitness classes we actually did attend, all the healthy meals we actually did attend. So to stop focusing on this one tiny moment of, something that you wish you could change about yourself and just focusing on the positive, or hell, just moving on
Right.
is so
Yes.
important.
Yeah, instead of sitting there thinking I shouldn't have ate that brownie, oh well, you ate it. I'm sure it was good, and then tomorrow, or not tomorrow, right now, we're gonna do better. So
That's right. Just
just
thinking
move
about
on
the
from it.
now. Don't beat yourself up for what you have done. Just think about the now. So anyone who wants to purchase the masterclass, I'm going to make sure that there is a link down below. I'm going to put links so that you guys can purchase the 1-day diet. It's absolutely amazing. I love this book. And also all of your social media. Can you go ahead and give us your social media handles now? That way if somebody's like listening in the car or on the bus.
You bet. I'm Wendy Allie Pierson. I am on TikTok and Facebook as Wendy Allie Pierson, and then Instagram. I'm on the title of my book, The 1-Day Diet, on Instagram.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for carving out some time. I know that you are so busy because this is Wendy's idea. She's shouldering the burden and I feel awful about it. But so I got to step up and help out more, and I know that. But you've been so busy, and we're buttoning this up and getting it ready to come out today. Obviously, we're recording this podcast a couple of days early, but thank you for making time for us, and for sharing your amazing knowledge with all of us.
Of course. Thank you for having me. I'm super excited for this journey.
I know, me too. So everyone, make sure to check the show notes, check out the 1-Day Diet book, and check out our masterclass. It's called Fit Over 40, and it is a killer deal. Killer deal.
It is crazy deal. Yeah, it is.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Wendy.
Okay.
I can't wait to see what you're going to do next.
Well, thank you. You as well. See
Okay.
you later.
Bye.
Bye.